What's up, everybody? You are listening to Let's Get Into It. As always, it's me, Elle, and y'all know I can't do this shit without my best friend.
Chris, what's up, y'all?
If you are a first time listener, welcome to our station. Welcome to our channel. We are glad to have you. And to all our returning listeners, thanks for fucking with two real bitches.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Period.
Y'all, y'all didn't get an episode last week, but y'all know why y'all didn't get an episode last week. Y'all know what we was doing.
We was turned all the way up. We were turned all the way up. If y'all did not know, let me tell y'all. It was a national holiday on the 29th. Chriserary, full effect. I love all my bitches who really say, oh, Chriserary, Chriserary. I love y'all because y'all really treat it like it's a holiday. I love it. And we had a blast. Okay.
Y'all know, y'all know I don't drink. Y'all know this about me. I take a couple shots. Well, I take that back. Y'all know I don't get drunk because I drink. I just don't get drunk.
Okay.
Chris Larry 2022. A bitch, like, was there a moment I wasn't drunk?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The whole entire time we were all drunk. We were all in the clouds. It was a great time. And you know, one thing I love about Christianity is it's like celebrate my birthday, but my friends just have the time of their lives. Like each year it's a different friend or friend group, a couple people that just has some like crazy shit that happens. And we like, oh yeah, Christianity. It's kind of like it when you in Vegas. Christianity, it doesn't matter where we are as far as location, but it's always gonna be some shit that happens that's like what happens in Christianity stays in Christianity. And that's just what it is. So I just love to see that because everybody just literally let their hair down because it's like my requirement and my only requirement is for everybody to be fucked up the whole entire time. And that's it. Like it's very simple. Just have a drink. You know, if you indulge in some weed, definitely so.
If you got them, burn them. Like, you already know.
But we had a great time. I think this is probably one of my favorite birthdays in like so far.
I will say this is in my top three Chris Wearies of all time. Um,
Absolutely.
like I said before on here, Chris Weary like is literally my new year. This is my year starts at Chris Weary every year. Um, like Chris said, those what happens during Chris Weary stays in Chris Weary. Several moments like those happened to quite a few people over the weekend. Just a good time. That like it was my first time being with some of our family in a really long time. Um, so that was refreshing. And then, getting to kick it with my Dallas peeps. I love y'all. So
Girl, I mean, it was just so much fun, y'all. I think some of the best moments is when we, like, of course, we went out, we turned up the city, but it was like those Airbnb moments was so, like, we were just so lit. We got a complaint, fuck them, but whatever.
that whack ass shit.
Honestly, y'all, we didn't go to sleep until like 6 o'clock, both 6 o'clock in the morning each day. I can't even say night because that's a whole nother day. And still got back up at like 9. So we was
That's what
really
I'm
on.
saying. Like, if you know me or Chris, you know that we don't sleep in. Y'all, I was literally like up cleaning at 7:30 in the morning. I went and laid down in my bed. The next time I opened my eyes, it was like 8:45, and we was starting to get up until our recaps of the night before.
Yep. It was fun. We had a great time. So shout out to everybody who came out to celebrate me. It was so much fun. I'm honestly thinking about planning something real big next year. So stay tuned for that because I've had people like kind of like a Christopher reunion. Like my old friends were like, we better get invited next year. So I'm thinking like we might do something big, maybe. I don't know. Cause I'm also on my intimate dating tip. So we'll see how I feel closer to the time. But we might be going out the country with like 20 motherfuckers. I don't know.
Oh, did somebody say a mansion? Mansion where?
Just stay tuned because honestly, I would wait for like the big 30, which I might do that actually. Just wait to do that the big 30. And then like every year towards that I could do something different, like a little bit smaller or whatever, and just do a real big trip on my 30th birthday and everybody come out. We have a mansion party and fuck the whole city up. But that's enough of the Christmas talk. It was a great time in a different month.
10 out of 10 would recommend again.
Each and every time. It's always a vibe. I'm not gonna lie. It is. And I appreciate it, honestly. I do. I didn't do a real big speech this year, because of hard therapy and work that I've been putting into myself.
What do we call that?
Growth.
Growth. Come on. Growth.
Growth. So with that being said, like I just felt really in control of myself this year for the most part. I mean, there were a lot of drunk moments that I don't remember, but for the most part, I remember a lot of what happened. Like I was kind of like I was in control of my like surroundings, even though I was so drunk.
I agree, Chris. I think you did. I just want to give you two snaps.
Cause y'all know me, oh my ass get fucked up, and it's like I do some shit, and I'm like, did I really do that? I mean, I kind of did something like that this time, but it was very constructive to the person that it happened with. So yeah.
Yeah, I would just stop it here because I promise you, I had so much fun. This could literally be a Chris
Yeah.
Weir episode, but I'm not gonna do that because y'all don't need to know everything. But
But
y'all
hey,
know.
Chris stays in that moment, as y'all know.
But y'all already know. After Chris Weary, the next major holiday, um, is Valentine's Day.
Day of love, y'all.
And I love love, y'all. Y'all know this. But in honor of Valentine's Day, and I'm sure if y'all live in the 21st century and you saw the title of today's episode, y'all already know what the fuck we about to be talking about.
Swiping left. Love, finding love in a very, I guess at this point it's not unconventional because like you said, if we're in this time, it's very normal. But for the older generations, finding love on an app is pretty taboo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's our norm. That's our norm. So yeah, that's what we're getting into today. And it's just perfect because we're dropping it the week of Valentine's. Well, technically Valentine's Day is next week, but I hate when it should be on Mondays because it's like, which one do you rather
If I
do?
Thursday, it's gonna be hit. You late. So
Yeah,
y'all, it's a few
but
days.
this week because y'all are celebrating it this weekend, most of us. So yeah, let's get into it, Elle. What we getting into today?
So as the title indicates, swipe left. Um, y'all already know on most of the dating apps, whenever you want to indicate that you feeling somebody, you swipe on their picture.
Mhm.
So what we're gonna do today is break down the different apps that we've used and what we think their different purposes are. Because each dating app, if you're not on them and you've never been on them, each app is different. The demographic of people that you'll meet on each app is very different. So we're just gonna let y'all know how they're different and what apps we prefer.
Absolutely. What's the first one you want to talk about?
This one is a little obsolete now. I have not used it since I hopped back in the game. But Tinder.
Oh, Tinder. I honestly haven't used Tinder in years, like since undergrad, to keep it hot.
But honestly, whenever you Google dating apps, Tinder is still like
And
it's always either the first or second one that you see.
we know why.
Why is it?
It's because
Yeah, it's another demographic of people that still use that app. a lot,
Oh.
but back in the day, I myself was a tender hottie, a tenderoni, if you will.
Oh, I like that tenderoni.
I was a young tenderoni in my, I think I downloaded Tinder like junior year.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a young, fresh and hot tenderoni,
Mm-hmm.
and I was on the app for a few months, and then I met my ex, and y'all know what y'all. If you've listened to the show, you already know where I'm going with this.
The
I then did
rest.
every app for the next 4.5 years, and now we're here.
Mm-hmm. Tinder. Okay, so I can't really remember the last experience that I had, but we're gonna keep it real on here because y'all know the saying, real life, real shit, real friends. So when I, for those who are not watching YouTube and you're listening, when I it was a little pause, I meant white people. Elle definitely said it in a very graceful way. It's a different demographic. But as you know, black women on that app, you're gonna go through like at least 10 white men to get to at least one, maybe 20, honestly.
I'll say I we'll get into this a little later, but it's another app that's just like that.
Absolutely. But for Tinder, I would just say that, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if y'all are tenderonis who want a white man. That's cool. But for me, I want a black man in my life, and it's just very annoying going through. And it's not even a way like other apps that we'll get into where you can preference it without having to pay for it. I just felt like that's something that I should be able to do upfront. But I could be wrong because I haven't had Tinder in a while. So y'all let me know if I'm wrong and they changed it to where you can, put your preference as a black man and see black men for free. Because I shouldn't have to pay a premium to see, like, the most basic part of dating is just finding the pool of people. So when I was on Tinder, I feel like everybody knows it for the quick, you know, fuck.
Y'all, listen. The content is already like if you on Spotify, you see the explicit content. YouTube, your kids can't watch it. We really, really try to keep it as PC and as PG-13 as possible.
I honestly do not. We can't say I because that's not me for real. Like if you're
Y'all know that's not us in real life, honestly.
children, let's
If you letting your kids listen to the shit, turn it off because y'all look at the title and think about the two bitches that's gonna be talking.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie to y'all and like I was like, okay, let me keep it PC. No. PG, no, we're not. But yeah, so I mean, honestly, it was a hookup app when I was using it. And honest, okay, to be real, for me personally, it's not that like I had the intention to go on there and be like, okay, let me just look for a good fuck for tonight. Let's be real. That wasn't my intention. But as I continued to use the app, I realized that that was what most men that matched me on, like matched with me, that's what they wanted. So I was like, nah, that's not for me. Even when I was in my whole phase, um, I wasn't. I never been like, let me get on the app to get some dick.
Yeah, I think that, and ladies, let me know if I'm right or I'm wrong. Guys, y'all just let us know. But I don't think that many women look at them apps like that. Honestly, like, let me get some dick on Bumble. Let me get on fucking Hinge to find some dick. I really don't think so.
I think it's a longer term game for us. It's like eventually I want to get dick. Like I'm doing this so I can have somebody that I can consistently get dick from. But it's not as like I feel like with men are like, oh, I just gotta go on the
Oh, this
app.
yeah, let me go right. And I
Yeah.
think like even based on what we're calling them to, like I know my friend group, everybody refers to any of the apps, and let's sometimes we just say the apps. Or if we're being a little bit more specific, we always say dating apps. But I've noticed like on Twitter, just in conversation with other people, like out in the open, a lot of people do just call them hookup apps because they
Wow.
trying to go get fucked.
Okay, yeah, that's different. I don't know. Is that a like different? Is that a different age group you think, or is that our age group?
In my okay, to answer that question, everybody that I work with usually is a lot older than me. So I've only heard really my coworkers use that. But no, on Twitter I've seen hookup too, a lot. And I don't really know my followers' ages, but they
Yeah.
are. I don't follow no little children.
Yeah, I feel like that's an older thing to say. Hookup apps, like who the fuck says that? But yeah, that's my experience on Tinder. If I could, I feel like we should rate these as single women. I will give Tinder a 1 out of 10.
Okay, my ranking for Tinder, I ain't used it in so long, so I'm gonna have to give it a 0 out of 10.
I started to give it a 0, but I feel like it's the blueprint for a lot of apps. I have to give them some type of credit.
And it gave me a whole relationship, but
Damn, it gave you a whole relationship, girl. You should at least say 5 out of 10.
I
Hey,
would say okay. I had to think about that aspect of it. I'll actually, based on my old experience, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Since I don't know much about it now, we're gonna give it a 0 out of 10.
okay, definitely understandable. All right, what's the next app? What you thinking?
So jump into something that's a lot different than Tinder, and Black is the app that I'm talking about. I know some people call it Be Okay. I just say Black.
But I mean, I guess it's be okay technically, but black. Um,
Yeah. So if anybody ever walks up to you and asks an age old question, where the hood niggas at? Tell them to download Black. 'Cause they're in there.
God, black. Okay, so my experience with black is yes, the hood niggas, but I will obviously y'all too for everyone who's listening, and I know this definitely like each app is different depending on where you live. Too.
Absolutely.
So keep that in mind. So my experience will be a little different because I'm in Dallas versus North Carolina, and I feel like people here, yeah, it be some like hood niggas, but it's also like I feel like it's like if you got hinge, you got black. Like it's both. It's not necessarily like you're not gonna. I feel like people just want to take a chance and go on there. So there are different types of men on there, not just limited to quote unquote hood niggas. So I would say that. And I mean, the only real issue I have with BLK, and I think someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say that they've changed it since I've been on there, but I couldn't see the height, and that was just a no, for me.
So you can see the height, but it's only if the person wants their height to be shown.
Gotcha. So it's not like required for them to put
It's
that,
not a requirement to show your height.
and I just don't.
Chris, I will say this about you though. You are the best person I know at gauging someone's height off a photograph. You can look at a picture of somebody's face and be like, "Oh yeah, he is short as fuck. Oh, he tall, Laney. He tall."
Shout out to Bree because her services are always needed. Like she's actually way better at it than me. But I have dealt with enough men to know, like, nigga, you short. Nigga, and it's honestly me going through, not going through, dog. That's gonna make me sound so crazy. But me dating men, especially in undergrad, I feel like height wasn't as big for me then.
It was.
You think so?
I say yes because y'all have all like when I say y'all, I mean all the women that I know have always really been very height conscious when it comes to men.
I
And
think all women that I know.
even the girl Daisha is tiny and she's not talking to tiny men.
I mean, compared to the niggas that I would talk to, yes.
Absolutely. We all know your height requirement. Care to share?
Okay, it's not a requirement, but it's a preference. Okay, well, the requirement is
Hold
actually,
on, time about. I thought there was no requirement.
yeah, I had to say that back because that was a lie. Okay, the truth is the requirement is I will say 6 even, and not. Let's be real, okay, fellas out there. I'm not talking about 6 feet with your big ass combat boots and like it adds 2 inches.
And I will say this: men, even tall men, and I don't understand this, feel the need to lie about their height.
Height
Like,
that we talking about this, especially when it comes to apps, it's ridiculous. Let's be real, y'all. It's women out here who are 4'11". It's okay if you 5'7", baby. It's just not okay with me. I'm
yeah, okay. I'm going to interject right here just to say, everybody, if you've ever hung around me and the topic of height ever comes up, I'm gonna always advocate for short men. Um,
absolutely.
I think that y'all need love too, and I catch a lot. I feel like if you're a short man and you're listening to this, you should send me flowers for
I,
how I go hard for y'all.
she does, and I'm sounding mean. I was just gonna say this to y'all. This is probably the most, if not the only, like superficial or like, yeah, superficial quality that I ask from a man. Honestly, to me, is the
I
height.
definitely agree.
That's the only one. So I'm not knocking anybody for that height. I'm not like short men shaming on here. We love all men. What I'm saying is, it's just I'm not really a tree that I would like for you to climb. But
And guys, listen. I don't want y'all to think that I'm out here dating guys that are 5'3". Um,
but I think you would be okay with that, and that's fine.
listen, short men, yeah, they really come for my neck. And
Who?
yeah, I think that, huh?
Who come for your neck?
Everybody about this height thing. You know, I would not be dating a person that's 5'3".
Honestly, L, I would, just like you said how you advocate for them, so I would know. I would not know. And to me,
Based on the way I'm advocating.
because you're like, I don't care. I don't care. So I never thought that you wouldn't date someone that short. Honestly, you haven't.
Honestly,
But I
not.
didn't
I've never put this
know.
much thought into it before. But I just know that they need love too.
Absolutely. And just going back to it because I didn't get to my requirement. A real six, okay. Preference though is 6'3" and above, or 6'2" and above. That's a preference. And I'm working through it, y'all. I'm going to therapy. I'm trying to figure out what that means. Honestly, being a tall woman and having a very tall dad, that's probably what it is. Like he was like 6'3" or 6'4", and I'm just like, it's just that's just I don't know. It makes me feel good. So I'm unpacking it. It's probably because of my dad. I'm like, he was a tall man, and when I hugged him, I was all the way like short. I didn't feel like I was hovering over niggas in 7th grade. You know what I mean? Sixth
Yeah, and
grade.
I'm also, y'all know I'm tall. I'm 5'9.5", 5'10" some days. Put me in some heels, baby. I'm about 6 foot even.
Absolutely.
And it's just crazy how short. I don't know how this became. Yeah, we're gonna get back into the dating apps. I promise. I'm gonna cut it here. But this is why I advocate for short men because they be so confident. I really be walking around in like 4 or 5 inch heels. I'm like 6'1", hovering over a lot of people. And next thing I know, I'm feeling a tap at my damn elbow, and it's a little man. They really do not care. They will
Oh,
approach any.
you I have to say, but I'm gonna say one thing. One thing I want to say too is I feel like men, shorter men, and this doesn't, case by case basis, but we talked about privilege, right? Tall men have a privilege, and it's so crazy. Shout out to my friend group. We always kind of have conversations, and we had a conversation about this not too long ago about how tall men aren't really required to have a lot of personality. Like them being tall is kind of a part of their personality. So it's kind of like that. It's like with shorter men, they're this sounds so bad because it doesn't for everybody, but I've found that they're more interesting, or they try a little bit harder just because they have to in a certain sense. Like they don't have the tall man privilege where even a short act, like you said, Daisha will want everybody wants the tall man. Let's be real. Whether you short or tall as a woman, most women go for tall men regardless. And so
Absolutely.
there's some sort of privilege with a man being tall compared to a shorter man who kind of have that, discrimination for a lot of women. Unfortunately, including myself.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Y'all saw what I just snuck off to the side to do. And
I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm not, because they gonna hate me after this. Don't hate me, y'all. It's the truth.
y'all gonna hate her, and y'all, I need to have some flowers at my door.
Damn,
So
you gonna hate me. Fuck you, L.
I'm not gonna let them hate you, but you openly discriminate against
I'm
them.
Hey, I'll go on a date with a short man.
Would you?
I would. I've actually been on a date with a shorter man. I
What's
actually dated a shorter man before.
what's short, Chris?
He was like 5'9".
What's average?
He's short compared to me.
Y'all the same height.
I'm 5'7.5".
Same height.
Yeah, no. When I have my heels on, I'm like 6'1",
Absolutely.
and he's like 5'9". So,
He's still 5'9". Okay, I get it. But I get it. I get it.
and
They're
y'all
not gonna hate you. They're
other,
not gonna
huh?
I can't speak for all the short men out there listening, but I know they're not gonna hate you for living your truth.
This is the truth. And I love y'all. Honestly, there are great men out here. And I'm not going to lie. And I've talked to men before, a lot of men, and they've, like, I've told them, like, this, and they're like, but what if this is a guy that's perfect for you? Like, checks all the other boxes. He's just short. And I'm like, I really wish I could lie to you and be like, I would still be interested. But I feel like it's a part of the initial attraction. And that's why I asked, I was like, would you like try to think of a future with somebody that you are not initially attracted to? Like most of the time, that's a part of the package for me.
Yeah,
And
and I get it.
honestly, because I have been had a lot of shorter men have been, and this is one guy. If you're listening, he kind of shorter, but he's so sweet. And I will honestly,
Girl, who you talking about?
yeah. Anyway, like you said, back to the apps. I just have to put that out there. Love y'all. I'm not like I love y'all, but L loves y'all more in a certain way. I'm
All right,
just
all right, y'all. All right.
so that
I,
was what okay.
yeah, that was be okay. I do for like I said, y'all, and like Chris said, this goes for all of the apps. What we're saying, of course, are just generalizations. In the area that I'm in now, like I said, be okay. Um, it's a lot of hood niggas on there. It really is. One of my least favorite things, one of the cons of be okay, or black, are the infiltrators.
Mm,
So, as the name of the app would indicate, it is for black people. But you will get on the app sometimes and you'll have some infiltrators that pop up. And, like I said, well, like we both stated in the beginning of the episode, for myself, I'm not really down with the swirl.
mm-hmm.
I love black men,
I love.
but white men and others sometimes infiltrate the app looking for a black woman. I think it's
Mhm.
a little weird that you join the app that's called BLK, called Black, and you're not black. So that's probably my least favorite thing about black.
Oh, that's the best thing for them. Like black women.
Right, you
Like,
fetishizing us. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want to say that because I'm like that's your preference, but it's also like with the
Here's the thing when it comes to, I feel like we're fetishized. The same, like, if, and I can't speak for 100% of those people because I don't know 100% of those people, but anytime that I've seen people being asked why their preference is black and they're not black, it never relates to that person individually. It's always, well, black people are da da, black men have da 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 da, black women have da 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 da. And if you're looking at it like that, as a person that's not black, you're fetishizing a black person.
definitely. I don't honestly have those conversations, so I wouldn't really
I'll
know.
be on YouTube. I'll be listening to conversations.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. So what would you give the rating for be okay? Black.
Okay, for me would get a 7 out of 10.
Okay. I'm gonna give it.
All right, one last thing about be okay.
Uh-huh.
If you are new to an area and you just and if you indulge and you're new to an area and you don't have a plug in the area, download Black because you will find like five within 5 swipes. I promise you, just be swipe, swipe.
Absolutely, that is true. I'm gonna give Be Okay a 7 as well because I did actually get a long term friendship from Be Okay, and that's crazy because like we're real cool now, and I'm like, wow, how do we, we met out?
See, I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
Y'all, a lot of these like, bitch, if you would have asked me when this app came out, I would have said last year, y'all. Like, I don't know. And they've been friends for a while.
No, 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 not him. Um,
Oh.
he lives here in Dallas.
Oh, bitch. So the app is new. I'm not old.
I don't know how, and I'm pretty sure it's newer, but I don't know like when it first dropped. But I know I downloaded it when I first moved here, and I met him, and now like we're all friends, like a part of friend group. It's crazy, but that's why I do that because he was cool. Like, did I meet anybody else on there? I think he was the only person, but I'm like, all right, that's cool. And that was like I said before the whole hike thing. So I was just like, I can't do it. I know. Okay.
All right, y'all. Moving on to the next app. Fuck it, Bumble.
Bumble. Are you ready to rumble? Okay. Bumble. I don't really like I haven't had any type of success with Bumble. I don't think I even like had a date on Bumble. I tried even BFF Bumble to network with other women in the area, and I don't recommend doing it off of a type of app like that because it's weird because you're still like I just don't think it's organic, this could be a case for dating itself on an app, but it just seems even more like less. I'm not making sense. It
No,
seems less organic
I get what you're saying.
with friends because
I,
it's like you're judging them literally off of their picture. You're judging them off like certain things they say. It's weird because it's like you don't do that with friends. It's usually an organic thing. So I haven't had any success with Bumble. What about you?
Bumble for me, no success whatsoever. I think that what I hate about Bumble is the fact that you can match with someone on Bumble, but the woman has to make the first move, like send the first message. And that that little tidbit for me made the app lose any appeal that it may have once had.
And I think what makes it worse is I think it's like a 24-hour window, and it's like people don't have the time all the time to like you could do something, forget, and then now that match is gone because you didn't say nothing in the 24-hour window. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So honestly, I can go ahead and give it my rating. I'm gonna give it a 2. It's not an app that I have spent a lot of time on that I've used extensively. I'm just giving it a 2 because I've seen like y'all be like I said, I'm on YouTube. I'm watching. I see it works for some people.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 0. Actually, for my personal stand, 0. I literally didn't have any luck like on either front. But from other people experiences, two of my closest friends here met off of Bumble. So I'll give that, a little hype up for that. Like, oh,
So
they met.
get a point from you, or
You know what I'm talking-
does that little hype up at least give it a point, or you gonna stick with that big goose egg?
I'm gonna sit with the goose egg, but I'm gonna give them a little whoop whoop, like a little whoop. I get whoop whoop. If y'all can't see it, but I'm pushing up the air. I'm giving them a little props.
She
Just
raising the motherfucking
I'm
roof.
raising the roof only because I'm like two of my friends met each other. And I honestly wouldn't have known both of them if they didn't meet each other on there, which is crazy, but it's true. So shout out to them for that. But me personally, it never like nothing happened. So Sorry, Bumble, but
Okay.
you're
Looks like so far Bumble is rated in dead last as the worst dating app. We have one more to go, and that is Hinge. What have your experiences been on Hinge?
I don't know why I felt like saying that. Hinge, honestly, I fuck with Hinge. And like I said, y'all, this is definitely case by case because I know a lot of, I feel like North Carolinians are like, I don't like Hinge. It ain't popping. But here, Hinge, I like Hinge because y'all already know the height requirement is up there. But also, I like the idea of like the prompts. And I don't know if other, I'm sure other apps have integrated it by now, but I thought that was different once I actually got here. And that's the first time I've downloaded it once I got here. And I was like, oh, this is cool. It's like really like a full profile. It's prompt, so it's kind of like you get to know someone by their answers instead of them doing this like very well thought out like about section. Like you still have that, but it's also like it's hard for you to make up something to a specific prompt,
Absolutely.
like to manipulate it in a way you people still do, but it's also like even the way you manipulate it shows some sort of part of your personality. So I like that. As far as the prompts, they have integrated also like the voice memos, which I haven't indulged in there like recently, but I like that. And I just like just some of the information that they have on there, like the height, the age, the kids, whether they smoke or not, drink, all of that, which most of them, yeah, if not all of them, can be hidden. But I feel like more often than not, they are shown on the page. And they can integrate it with Instagram, which I also like. And a lot of people do that. I don't do it, but a lot of people add their Instagram in there, which is kind of cool because I'm like, I can kind of see if you're a weirdo or not, especially on live. So I'll say I've had the most luck on Hinge. So I have to give them their props. I'm gonna give them an 8 out of 10.
Okay. I could not agree more with everything. Okay, bitch. Bitch, okay. Y'all, if y'all can't see her, she just did some kind of crazy little, what the fuck is this even called? A bend and snap on
It's
my ass.
it's not, but it's also Hinge sponsor us, okay? Because I'm over here giving y'all
Because
good.
listen, I'm about to give them a good review too. Y'all know, since my y'all know this, y'all know the place I am in my life right now. So I've been on these apps for research purposes. And in my opinion, Hinge is definitely the most user friendly. um Chris, you really got into it about like the different prompts and stuff. I really like that the prompts.
Mhm.
um I do like the demographic questions that they ask. I like that you are able to
I
your
forgot.
preferences. This is a big one, and I thought you was gonna
It,
hit.
I
This is
forgot
a big
I,
one.
how
Like you can, this is the only one that I know of where you can say I only want to be shown to black men. I only want to see black men.
is
That's huge. And then the whole, like, I know the title is Swipe Left, but Hinge is the only people that thought like on any of the other apps, it's so easy to accidentally swipe on somebody, but you
that
cannot do that shit on Hinge. You have to be very intentional about whether or not you want to swipe left or right. And I really like that.
they really thought that out, like it because it's a whole profile, which it also gives you time to like look and think. And then y'all know too, like men overall, in my opinion, a lot of them they just not photogenic, or they don't put enough time into their pictures like women. So sometimes you have to be like, kind of cute. He might be, you gotta sit there and kind of do the calculations and see if he's cute. But it gives you the opportunity to do that because you have to answer specific topics, and it's like you'll get different pictures. But I'm glad you hit on the preference, and the reason why I didn't think about it is because my preference has been set since like 2 years ago. So I'm like, I forgot. Like once it's set, it's set. But to go back to what you said about infiltration would be okay. That's when I found an issue when I specifically say I only want to see black men and then I see white or other come through. I'm like, not y'all identifying as black men.
That is ridiculous. I saw that one time. Y'all know I'm new to this shit. So I'm on here, I'm scrolling. I got my preferences on black, and then fucking Chad pops up. And I'm going through his demographics, and he got listed that he's a black man.
Crazy. I'm like, now that's when I know that's when you're like really on there to, be like, I just want black women and I'm gonna say that I'm black so I can get at least
But they can see me, nigga. Don't nobody want to see you.
yeah, and I'm like, I thought I said I wanted black men and like so I like, yeah, that's a good point with that. And it's even an even better point with the swipe left thing because it is so easy to swipe left on somebody. You like, fuck. Like, dang, I did not mean to do that. But it's like such a gamified process. So you like left, 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 and you just go.
Right. And you girl, you just be swiping through all the bullshit and then accidentally and it
Yeah,
ain't no that shit back
it's no going back. And,
for the fucking premium.
yep. You may see them again like weeks from now or days from now, but like, yeah, once you do that, it's no going back. And that's how they get you because they like, buy the premium. And I'm like, fuck you.
Thank you.
Not doing that. So yeah, what are you rating Hinge?
I'll give Hinge a 7.
So that was the same as no, not Tinder. Yeah, Tinder.
Actually, I want to go back on my Tinder. I feel like I was a little too generous on my Tinder score. So I'm going to knock them down to a 4 out of 10. I don't know what the fuck. I was high because what the fuck?
I mean, you said because of your relationship.
Am I in that relationship?
Absolutely not. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna let you do you. But yeah, that's
Yeah, get a weed sometimes.
so a question for you, El. And I feel like we discussed this before. But we're talking about swipe left, right? We're talking about apps. So I definitely want to know what are some, and I don't know if we were supposed to get into this now, so you stop me if we gonna talk about this a little later.
Into it, we're going to get into it. Let's go.
Yes. So what makes a profile for you to swipe right versus swiping left? Or since this is swipe left, why are you swiping left on these profiles in the beginning?
Y'all, if you can see me, I just made my nervous face because I don't know how to answer this question. And I actually put thought into this question. Um, I don't know. And I mean, I guess it just goes back to like instantaneous attraction because literally the first thing that pops up was that are you agreeing or are you raising your hand?
Is what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, if y'all are talking about my nail, you anti black. Okay.
Anti-black,
Anti black. But
anti.
anyway,
So I really think it's like if I don't see something in that first picture that I like, I can't like the profile. And I think that that is one. And so I'm not gonna say I don't scroll because sometimes I do scroll. But if that first picture is just, y'all know, I don't like talking about God's creatures. I really don't. Um, what, Chris? What?
I, okay, yeah, go ahead. We keeping it real or we keeping it real.
Okay, we're keeping it real. If you're not aesthetically pleasing to me, then I'm just gonna swipe right on your ass. Like, and
Left.
that's is that? I don't know the lingo, y'all. I don't know.
If you
A left is a no, right?
yes.
Oh my bad. Yeah, I'm gonna swipe left on that ass and just keep it going.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that we were saying about Hinge, though. With Hinge, because you can't swipe, I'm more inclined to scroll on Hinge than any other app.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, what makes you like? How do you make your swiping decision?
Oh, absolutely. So, of course, the very first thing that I look at is aesthetically pleasing. But to be honest, of course, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So, it is.
Say, according to y'all have heard it on the show before. Crystal, Daisha, all of my friends think that I have a bad taste in the way that men look.
That is not true. You say that. We never say. I never say. I never said.
I feel like, bitch, am I? Are you gaslighting me right now?
I'm not gaslighting you. I've never. You have always said, you know, I like medium ugly men, or you know, I like ugly.
Never.
I like, you know, like you just ugly men. You know, I never did that. So you're not gonna sit here and tell the people that because people automatically think I'm like shallow or something. Just the way I like. No, not,
You're shallow.
yeah, that's what people think.
That's crazy because you're probably the
I'm
most.
based off appearance. Like, you know, we got
I mean, that's just crazy. I guess looks can really be deceiving because you're the most insightful person I know, honestly, other than myself, clearly. But, but for some,
period.
if y'all listening and y'all think my best friend is shallow, go fuck yourself because.
No, but for real, getting back on topic, I don't. Let's not say that because I really don't.
Okay, well,
What
let
I
me
say,
take that.
what I will say is we all, and when I say we all, y'all know we always reference the trio because that's how we started. We just all have different taste in men.
We all do have different taste in
Big
men.
taste in men. Now, what I will say, I am usually more attracted, or think Dacia's man is more attractive, but
I want to leave. Cut, 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 cut. Y'all, this bitch really just gaslit me on the show.
y'all.
Bitch, I'm not cutting this. I'm not cutting this. Do y'all see how she just gaslit me?
No, but you made it seem like I'm like, yo, ugly. Instead, you would be like, how you look like, oh, he's not my type. But you know,
Y'all, no,
I'm
I'm not even gonna get into what you told me. I'm not even gonna get into that. But y'all, it just gaslit the fuck out of me on
I'm
TV.
sorry, not my intention, but I felt like you were saying it. I'm like, yeah, it like ugly men, and that's not true because there have been a lot or some men that you showed me that I'm like, he's cute, but then there's some that I was like, that's just not my type. And the same way with that shit, and the same way with my siblings, and the same like it's everybody just has different tastes, and y'all do the same shit for me because I like.
I ain't never went in on no nigga you ever like shown me.
I mean, I don't go in.
You went in on somebody and I don't want to say it.
See y'all, I I can't tell the truth because if I
No,
tell,
I always want the truth because y'all, whenever I ain't even gonna get into it, but it was helpful criticism.
all I'm saying is we all have different tastes, and I've definitely talked to guys who are not as appealing to other women, and that's understood. Same way with all of us, we've all talked to people that people are like, oh, that's what I'm talking to, but it's like, but that's who I want. Okay? I like. But getting back to it, yes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So we all have people that we find attractive that other people do not. And that's just what it is. And that's why I had to interject. Like, I don't want it to seem like I'm just like ugly, ugly, ugly. But so of course the initial attraction is one thing, but I also pointed out earlier that men are not good at pictures.
That's true.
So I don't even judge people like men's look, especially on an app, as harshly because it's like you can, and this happened to me years ago. It was this one guy, he looked goofy, and all of this, but I saw the potential. Like he looks like he got cute features, but he looked goofy. But then when I saw him in person, I was like, he is fine to me, or he's like very attractive to me. So you have to kind of like look at
And
profiles of
you're
men.
gonna have to just refresh my memory on this specific situation. Did you
Uh,
change that man whole life or am I mistaken?
Sure. And now he elevated
Oh
even.
yeah, y'all. When I tell you my bitch raised a man,
And like K Michelle said, you can't raise a man. Can't raise a man. You can't. But
you tried, bitch.
I didn't try. I
You
did not.
did 2 snaps for you.
I did not try.
No, Oh no, I'm saying you didn't try. It just happened. But you getting
Oh,
your snaps because
try
you I don't know if that man a man yet. Shit.
either. But I didn't try. Like I usually don't. I just kind of like leave little nuggets, and men usually pick it up. But it's same way. It's a two-way street though, because he taught me people with experience,
Absolutely.
you're gonna learn stuff from them, and they're gonna learn stuff from you. So I'm not able to.
Absolutely.
But going back to what I was saying, so I don't really honestly judge their profile pictures as harshly as I would like in person because you just never know. Because they just have horrible angles and it just doesn't look right. But the second thing I look at, to be honest, is the height. And then also as far as preferences behind the scenes, I like dating people at least 28 and up. So that's like already filtered to that age range. And then I do look at their occupation, which is not clear cut occupation. Some people just choose not to put their business out like that. And and I think those are the major ones. And of course, like intellect. And it's kind of it's definitely hard to judge it just off of that. That's why I like Hinge though. I said, love Hinge because and what's wrong?
Nothing, girl. Just keep going. My phone is doing some crazy stuff. Sorry, guys. It's not affecting the quality at all. Let's just keep it going.
Okay. So yeah, with the prompts, I definitely, read it. And just to make sure it's no like you're speaking properly. Like you're not spelling words wrong or
Yeah.
slang that was hope like for the rest of the world was deaded in like 2015. Like shit like that I look at. It doesn't have to be elaborate answers because honestly on my profile I don't give elaborate answers because you don't deserve that part of me. I have friends who like it's specific and they literally like read into their responses. I'm not that because I'm like that's the point of you getting to know me more, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not slow. And I hope that I know the same about you. Um yeah,
I gonna.
mainly.
I feel shallow now because you wanted to know the initial thing. I could have got into it a little bit more too. Um, but yeah, like I
I
said, for me,
the initial thing I said what you look for when you go swipe left or swipe right. So what the hell you talking?
you know that I'm high. I don't know why I just did that.
Yeah.
But I think you raised some very valid points. Like I said, instantly I am looking at that first profile picture, but it's funny, like you said, the next thing that you go to is height and occupation. I think the next thing that I do after that initial, if you get in a scroll out of me, I want to read your prompts and see what prompts you chose to answer.
Mm,
And then based on that, the responses. Because y'all, if you have a profile, you can choose from a lot of different things that
right.
you want known or something that you find interesting about yourself. So I just want to see what people think stands out about them. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. One thing you did mention is one shallow trait about Elle. She didn't want to say, but
No, stop. That's not true. I knew you was about to
um,
say this.
out here,
Y'all,
it,
this isn't true.
she does not like a man who does not know how to dress. Let's be real.
And y'all keep it cute in the comments, please.
Let's be. You're
But
not gonna sit here and make me feel shallow. Well, you didn't make me feel
I
shallow.
was about to
I
say.
know it's gonna be seen as shallow or like that's very like superficial for me to be like, hi next, and you're like, I want the types of prompts and whatever types of prompts they choose.
Girl,
You, you
please do me a favor and suck me slow. What the fuck?
you know you're looking at their shoes. You know you're looking at what type of shirt they
But
have.
here's the thing, y'all, and I want this to be known. I'm not looking at the clothes on like some monetary shit. I'm not.
Right.
I just don't. I think that I don't. I'm not saying like I'm a fashionista, but I can dress. I can put clothes together. I know what looks good together and what doesn't most of the time. And if you can find a picture of me in a ugly ass outfit now, I'll give you $20. It's not happening.
Never happen. It will never happen.
Um, and that being said, I just like people that can put things together. So I'm not looking at like, oh, he got on a $200 shirt, $500 pair of
I
jeans.
can spot it out. Let's be real. But you don't
I
like, oh,
about it,
he.
but I'm not looking at that. I just like to know that people can put clothes together. You care a little bit about your appearance, enough about your appearance that you look nice.
And it's crazy, y'all. But for me, it's like I never can find a man who can dress. I really can't. It's like they be so chill. They don't be giving a fuck. I mean, they don't look crusty, but it's like they don't be like, you know how I like to dress. I would like to think.
I get that because even like people that dress real chill, it's a way of doing that, and I can still tell whether or not you can like dress if that makes sense.
Yeah, like when it's time to put on, you gonna put on.
Yeah.
And I've talked to, I don't know why, but they don't care as much about that. Not they don't be looking crusty, but they don't usually go the extra mile. It's only a handful of men that I've dated that's like, that's cute. Like they be like more the shoes or something. Like it's one thing that is like my shoes always gotta be on point. But that's about it.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get it.
I
I
don't know.
really don't.
I don't know why. Cause you would think for me to like fashion or like stuff, you would think that I would attract somebody who's like the same way. But I always attract a chill, like I'm chilling.
Nah, that is interesting.
It's very interesting, right?
It's crazy because I will say that. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. We'll talk about it off. I'll tell you.
Moving on.
What'd you say?
I said moving on.
Moving on. Do you think? Just had a few more conversation questions. In regards to the apps.
Bring it on.
One thing, or we can go skip right into our game of the day.
I'll say ask one more question and then we can go to the game.
Okay. And my last question is: do you think that dating will ever be as organic as it was prior to smartphones, dating apps, social media? Because we didn't even hit on social media, but Twitter is a dating app. Instagram
Instagram is the
is a
dating app.
dating app. People are really meeting each other on these apps and starting whole families.
Right.
Do you think dating will ever be how it was pre social media?
Absolutely not. I don't think it would ever go back to, you know, meeting someone. Like I will say the good thing about it is, of course, is there's always a possibility to meet someone in person. Like that's always gonna be there. Like you can meet someone in the grocery store. Like you can just meet people out at a restaurant.
Can't
Or
remember the last time somebody told me, yeah, I met this guy in person or I met this girl in person.
the last person I was talking to, I met him in person.
And you were the only person I know. I think we said something about that like at the time.
Yeah. And I mean, I will say it's definitely better because you just gauge a lot more when you meet someone in person. Like it's just better. However, I just feel like it's gonna be difficult to go back to a time where I mean, there is pros and cons, and I think we talked about this too. And I know some of my friends and I talked about it not too long ago as well. But like with dating apps, there are like possibilities that you wouldn't have even seen if you weren't on the app. Because some of these
Mm.
people don't even go outside the house. They're like, I'm fitting my video games. I'm working. I'm playing basketball or whatever. It's not. They're not social. They're not out and about at the lounges or like other places where you would think you will meet a single person at. That's the pro of this. Like you get opportunity options that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. However, it's oversaturated as well, and that's the one of the pieces that we talked about. When I think it was like a documentary or something, a YouTube video, how it's like,
Just about to bring that up with you. I was just about to bring that up. I couldn't
yeah,
remember. I was knowing if it'd be me and you talking about all this shit or what.
yeah,
But are you talking about like the reason that things aren't working is because you have so many options.
Yes. It's oversaturated. It's like we have so many options, or it appears that we have so many options because
Exactly.
so there are a lot of people that you see. It's still about compatibility. And Hinge get on my nerves about this part when they're like, oh, we found that you're more compatible with this person. How the hell do you know?
And you know they lying. Then be like, we think that you should meet.
Right, come on.
Come on.
Come on. And I look at the person like, really, dude? Really?
Are that me?
So,
Me and that guy? Like,
I mean, it's like it appears that you have more options, which technically you do, but as far as compatibility, it's still very limited options because we just all like we just an example between what me and Elle was talking about, what we look at on their profiles, like we all like something different and we all pick up on something different. So like it just what the conversation we were talking about is that because of the appearance of having more options, it's kind of more difficult to stay serious or to try to get to know one person because you're like, I got somebody else that I could probably talk to. And it's like a quick, they use these dating apps are very gamified. It's addicting, and we all are essentially, well, not all of us, but once you start using it, it is addicting because you like, oh, left, right. Like, it's a possibility of finding somebody to at least have a conversation with, even if it doesn't last, but over like 48 hours, it's still somebody there that you're like, okay, this is a possibility. What so I think it's a good tool to have. So I wouldn't want to go back to not having that option because at least we do have that option and we can see what's out there. Because sometimes you might need that little encouragement to be like, you know what, it is a lot of fish in the sea. Like, if you're out there and you are struggling with the breakup, like Elle, she just got back into the game. It's just even if it's for that reason to find male friends or companionship just for like a short amount of time, it is a good way to just talk to people and get different perspectives and just see that there are more people out there. So no, I don't think it's gonna ever go away, but I feel like we need to find a better way to like, after we meet people on the apps or pick a little bit more wisely. Um,
mm,
make sure that there's like I think we talked about this on the episode. We're gonna drop an episode that been in our arsenal, and we talked about this a little bit on that episode. But also just being able to like know as far as the rules of dating. Like if you are on, don't fucking write me for a whole week and you're not asking to plan a date or you don't want to go out. Like I'm not that type of, or at least FaceTime. Like we have to do these things, which I do like that these apps are integrating the FaceTime tools. The prompts where you can have a voice memo so you can at least hear how they sound. It's a lot of shit that goes into meeting people and compatibility that is beyond just the picture and an answer to a prompt. So that was a long-winded answer, but basically, hell no, we're not going back to the regular meeting people in person. It's just not gonna happen.
yeah, it was just a question that I was just wondering what you would think about it. Curiosity, but that shit killed the cat. I couldn't agree more.
Kills the cat.
It killed the motherfucking cat. But I couldn't agree more. The way technology is going, they're gonna have like dating apps 2.0 in like the next 2 or 3 years. Like this shit is like I think one of them now got where you can go live and then like people just watch your live off the
Yeah, my
date.
brother was telling me about it. I was like, what?
That's fucking crazy. Why? Who would want to do that? But
Hell, no, it's gonna be like a metaverse like type deal where you just
yeah,
have character and you find and be in like a simulated social setting and meet different people at the same time. Is that did I just
did we, bitch? We'll talk after this. We're gonna talk.
they
But
gonna
yeah,
do that
this is
much?
really what we do. We have like so many $10 million ideas.
And we need to go ahead and put it together so we can get paid.
Facts. But as far as dating is concerned, y'all, I really do think that like we are slowly integrating into some super high tech shit like Chris just described with the metaverse. Like it's just gonna become more and more techni- technologically advanced. Um,
Absolutely.
and yeah, it's no looking back to this organically meeting people. I think that we're just gonna have to start, like, our kids are gonna think that the fucking apps are ancient by the time they
Right.
date, and it's crazy. I just that's like a wild perspective to have of like thinking of the future of dating.
Mm,
Um, hopefully I ain't in the game still at that time. But
yeah. Just a side note, I really feel like people need to like we having a matchmaker should be more prominent and not.
that's a good point.
I think
Um,
that's the better option, but I've only seen like people who have a lot of money be able
wealthy
to
people
get
can only get matchmakers, and they're matching them with other wealthy people. But you
right.
want to know what's crazy, bitch? I feel like we could be like matchmakers on our level because
I think
I personally, y'all, Chris can tell y'all, I know when people are connecting. I can feel it. Like, bitch, don't make that face because it literally just happened, did it not?
I told you that though.
Bitch, no.
Oh, you
I,
told me too.
no, for you, bitch.
Okay. I morning I was just like, yeah, I might, I did. It's okay.
You probably did. Now that I'm thinking, looking back, but I told you it was gonna be a good. I told you that it was gonna be good for you. And then when I'm not gonna get into it because it's a lot, and the listeners wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
But bitch, we could be matchmakers.
And I just felt like we should just have an app or something similar to it, or they could integrate with the established apps where we can have like someone there to like.
Consultation, consult, and actually get that. But the only thing with that, and I mean, I guess that's the same with actual matchmaking services, is that people don't ever want to be their themselves, their authentic selves. So that's crazy how you knew exactly what I was about to say.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. But over time, I understand that aspect of it. But over time, it's gonna be impossible for them not to be shown. Because I used to watch $1 Million Matchmaker. I love Patty, crazy ass. And it was like, of course it's an extensive like interview process, and of course you most of the time it doesn't matter if you look compatible on paper. The interviews match up as far as like this is what I want, and the other person wants literally what you said you are or who you are. There is 9 times out of 10 it's not going to work out in the beginning. Like the first date is not going to work.
absolutely,
So they're gonna continue. Everybody's gonna continue to go on multiple dates. So at some point, you're gonna know who the real person is. You're gonna realize you can pile up those red flags that every woman has seen in that one man, or every man has seen in that one
that
woman.
y'all listen. 2023 is coming. A certain we doing this shit. I think that, but no, I definitely agree. I think that matchmaking should become a thing again.
Yeah, but affordable, like for because
Affordable for people. I agree.
are looking for love, and that's literally like a lot of, especially in their late 20s.
It was a viral TikTok going around Twitter at the TL and Shambles, and we can probably get into it at a later date. But it was a lady. She was in, I think it was either late 20s, early 30s, and she was just talking about her fears as a woman, like, and finding a man. And it's like just reading the TL and seeing like people's thoughts. Yeah, we're gonna get into that on a different episode, but
But I honestly think one of the reasons why I feel like it would be successful too is because obviously our pickers don't work as well. And we need an outside party to be like, you said you wanted this type of person. And that can go for me and my whole like short.
it's like
I might grow out of that one day. And that's just like something that I'm gonna have to be like, but you want this awesome man, but you're putting the stipulation of them being short in there. I don't foresee it anytime soon, and I hope not, honestly, because that's what I want. But maybe that's what I need, and that's, I feel like as a professional that can be like, listen, just like how it is with therapy, you feel like you got it all figured out, but it takes that outside source to be like, you're making these same decisions. You're talking to this same type of nigga, just reincarnated each and every time, a different body, but the same niggas in it's in the body. Okay, internally they're the same,
Let's
and
get into it,
wonder
please.
why. You feel me? So like, I just think it'll be better because us choosing our mates obviously isn't working.
Agreed. And like you said, like just having that outside opinion is like you can tell me something all day long. And you know, I value every I was gonna use my birthday quote, but I'm not even gonna do that. I value everything that you tell me and I take that shit to heart. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna make my own decision. I feel like if I'm paying somebody for their opinion, I'm gonna be more inclined to, do what they telling me to do.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds dumb.
Professional too. Like,
That's what it is. But here's the thing, guys. There's no professional training for this. So me and Crystal will just begin calling ourselves professionals, and you guys have no choice but to go along with it.
we are the love doctor. So if
I become a love guru.
the gurus, okay? I'm giving guru with this like I'm guru. Love.
Couples retreats. We're gonna start hosting those too.
Honestly, I mean, I feel like I know me and my friends here talked about this and then we can move on to the game. But doing something very similar to what the episode on girlfriends, when you bring a single friend and see if they, I think Sex in the City they did it too, but like I love that. I feel like I don't know who wanted to, I mean, I don't really have anybody
That's
here,
a party.
but I think that that's pretty cool to like just try to create an open space for that to happen, like knowing that why you're here, like some sort of mixer. The reason why you're here is to find love or to date or whatever that situation is. Or I love the like single, ready to mingle, green light, yellow light, red light parties too, just to know like people come in, that's their intention.
And
Um,
I think that in order for things like that to happen, though, there's a certain pride that we as a generation have associated with dating, and it's
mhm,
weird because we're so open and like I feel like not everybody in this generation, but our generation, we are very sexually liberated. So it's
true.
like people don't have an issue with casual sex at all.
Mhm.
Um, but it's like kind of taboo when you try to throw like actual
Labels on it.
labels on things, and I think that's weird. Like,
That's
oh,
true.
like just imagine how it's gonna be. Oh, this bitch paying somebody to help her find a nigga. Like, it's always gonna be those type of stick. This nigga gotta pay for bitches. Like, it's gonna
Yeah.
be. It's this weird stigma attached to dating and actually finding love.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna honestly, and then it's really the media because it's cool to have hoes. It's cool to be a hot girl. It's cool, like you know what I mean. It's all that shit is cool. I ain't finna play hard. I'm a lover girl, bitch. At the end of the day, and I just think we gotta break away from those stigmas and the tabooness of finding love.
But
And if you're looking for love, contact Elle and Crystal's matchmaking services.
when you said it, that made me think it would be good if instead of like the red light, yellow light, if it was associated with like casual sex, serious relationship, like the intentions
What
of
are
what you
you
want.
looking for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you red shirt, you like, oh, you want a relationship. Okay,
Let me
me.
here. And it's like that's the thing. Another thing that we have to respect as adults that are dating in 2022. What's good for Tom ain't always good for Harry. What's good for Jill ain't always good for Jane.
No, Jane.
Girl, what you say?
That's true. And like you said, the stigma, honestly, I will say in dating nowadays, especially the type of men I date, I honestly haven't had as much like judgment because I'll tell my stories. I'm like, yeah, I remember X, Y, Z happened. And once you start talking, you're like, damn, it just sounds like I talked to so many people. But it's like I can't feel like that because I'm a 26-year-old woman. I am very free. I make my own decisions when it comes to my body and
Absolutely.
who I want to have. type of relationship with. So I choose not to be shamed by you stupid ass niggas.
And girl,
So,
yeah,
but I
period.
will say, I just wanted to give like flowers to the men I have been dating like recently. Like they don't. They're like, yeah, we get it. Like, especially when I talk about undergrad experiences, like we all have been, well, not all, but
I
most,
was
some,
gonna say, y'all already know, if you're a listener, y'all know I ain't got a whole lot of experience doing a whole lot of nothing.
yeah,
But
yeah. But some of us do, and it was just like a good time to do it. And now I'm in a
I
different.
will say though, y'all know I had a good time in my day and
It's just different, different,
different.
and that's
But
everybody is different. The Chris that I was in undergrad definitely not the Chris I am now, and what I want now is different from what it was
and
then.
I will say this for the both of us, even like over the past few months, and this is, I'm sure this is, a lot of people are going to be able to relate to this, but like
Hmm.
the growth that we've had in our dating lives over the past, I'm gonna say a month and a half, bitch. Like we both
Yeah,
had two totally different stances than we had a month and a half ago on dating.
that's true. I'm very open now. I was very like, and I was emotionally unavailable for most of my adult life, and now I'm open to love. I'm
Oh,
to something serious. I'm open to something. And I was on the sidewalk. Now I'm back in the street. But I'm moving into with intention in the streets. You
and
know, and that's just
um, y'all know I'm cruising in the bike lane still, but
I don't know if they know that reference.
oh, that episode hasn't dropped yet. Damn. Well, y'all, I'm just chilling. There've been a few new updates over the past couple of weeks, but for the most part, I feel like I'm just growing, like in myself.
Person, yeah.
So yeah, keep listening. There'll be updates. I'm gonna be ready to talk about it all soon.
Yes. Okay, let's get to this game.
So the game is very simple, bitch. It's called Best and Worst.
Ooh.
So I just want to hear your best experience off a dating app, and I want to hear your worst experience off a dating app, and I'll give you the same.
Okay, since you had a little bit of time to think about it, go
I
first.
not do any thinking about it.
I was like, you came up with it because I didn't. So I definitely didn't have the time to think. Who? My worst experience. I'm just gonna start with the bad and hopefully up with a good experience. And we're talking about like on dating apps, right? Not like social media, just dating apps.
If you feel like the story is pertinent, tell it.
Okay. Um, I'll just do that as a bonus. So I'll say for my worst dating experience via an app. Damn, my memory's so bad. I'm sure I've had like even worse than what I'm thinking. But I'll just go with like um recent. It's more of a theme. It's not like I've had like a terrible ass time finding people on the apps, but it's just more so of like the type of men that I was running into at some point. And based off of, and that's one thing about profiles is you really can't get a sense of who someone is until you meet them in person or you FaceTime. So there have been a few men, especially since I've been here, that were very like homophobic. It was
Yeah.
my very first
Tomato, tomato.
tomato. We're throwing them at the motherfuckers. My very first date here while I was in Dallas, like it was going well at first, and then it took a turn when we were just sitting at the restaurant. Everything was cool, and then he saw a homosexual couple, a gay couple, walking outside of the restaurant. So this is something that he looked at out like through the window, and they were walking. I don't even think they were displaying any type of affection. It was just like you could just tell that they were flamboyant. So he just knew that they were gay. Not even sure if they were together. But he was like, I hate that shit. And I was like, you hate what? Because I was genuinely confused. I wasn't paying attention. Or if I saw them, but it wasn't like, that's obviously not my thought process. So when he said that, I was like, you hate what? And he just was like that gay shit. And so we were just in there. And y'all know me, I am not with that bullshit. And I'll let you know up front, I'm very vocal about how I feel. And honestly, we talked about, in hood feminism, how men are they can seem like they are ignorant, but they're doing it on purpose. So
Absolutely.
take responsibility. And I believe in a lot of cases that's true. But I also know from being from the South, yes, North Carolina is the South. From being from the South and like raised in a very traditional Christian, non-denomination, but a lot of like Baptist remnants in it, like family, black family. I know that a lot of the things that these men believe in is because of those toxic as ideologies that were passed from their grandparents and their parents and their parents. So like it's a generational thing for sure. So I definitely go into dating men, black men, and specifically with that understanding of I get it because I've come from a similar background, and I know a lot of men who don't mean no, and women who don't mean no harm, but that's just what they were taught. So
Absolutely.
give them a certain amount of grace, but there's something, and the grace being, I will correct your ass. That's grace, because I could have easily gotten up and said fuck you, but I'm going into this space. Even back then, I don't think about it. But I'm
No, I
about,
remember this. I
yeah,
think you handled it very graciously.
yeah,
If you know,
space of
if you
like
listen
giving
to the show
a,
at all,
like I'm not going to let you slide on some shit. So we were talking about it. And I was like, how? And I kept asking these like questions because another thing that I know, because where I'm from, a lot of men, and this is not just, to black men, I'm not just like pointing fingers, but it's okay for a feminine lesbian couple. It's okay to see that because it's sexualized, not the, stud or anything like that. It has to be feminine. They're okay with that. Their morals go out the window when it comes to that. But when it comes to anything dealing with being gay as a man, it's like there's no, oh, they could do what I don't give a fuck, and that's problematic too in its own way. But that's why I give them some grace, because some people are literally like, well, it's not me, and they don't realize how problematic that could be by saying that. Because I was like that before. I didn't realize. I think you the one who told me. And I was like, oh damn, I didn't really mean it like that. But now I see why that's problematic. So that was my worst experience, or one of the worst, like most recent ones that I can like really pinpoint. And we met off the app, and I was just like, I'm not here for a man who, the guys were literally minding their own business, y'all. Like they were not even in the restaurant,
yeah,
and that's
that's really fucked up.
yeah,
Um, like I was saying, if you listen to the show at all, or if you know us or follow us on our socials at all, you know that we've always been very vocal about social issues. A couple things that we're never going to tolerate in any circumstances: racism, homophobia, transphobia. We don't fuck with none of that shit. And yes, I'm speaking for both of us because I know this is one thing that we will never disagree on.
absolutely. We do not. Yeah, no.
And
Yeah,
um, I know that that was one of your worst experiences because literally directly after, I remember me and you on the phone talking about it for a while. So
yeah. It's disappointing, and I think what also made it worse is because, like I just mentioned, like he didn't see an issue with femmes, being lesbian,
absolutely,
involving that type of activity when it comes to two women when it's attractive to him, like as a man, like that's sexy. So it's
absolutely.
about
A lot of people's homophobia ends when it comes to lesbianism in any form.
right,
Like, this will be dead as best friends with masculine presenting lesbians and then are extremely homophobic to gay men. So
absolutely,
and then like you were saying, a lot of men like sexualize more
lesbian.
presenting lesbians and those type of lesbian relationships. So it's really fucked up.
Yeah,
have, and it just goes back to a much bigger issue of how people weaponize religion for their own
that's
personal gain.
literally what I was gonna go into. I was like, that's what made it worse is that he used religion for that. But now I was like, but you just said,
And
two
I'm
and
sure he's out here having sex, fornicating, doing a whole lot of things
out,
that are
yeah, out of
unchristian.
wedlock. So I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, what?
out of wedlock. So I was like, make it make sense. Okay. Like, y'all, I am very spiritual, but y'all already know there is a lot of things that I don't agree with when it comes to this traditional, like,
Absolutely. The God
practice.
I serve is not the God that I serve and the God that I was taught to serve. A lot of the bullshit that the people that were teaching me, not my family specifically, but a lot of people that were teaching or call themselves still teaching of the word, my God would not agree with. So
Absolutely.
I love the Lord and I'm very spiritual as well. I can't get down with a lot of that old age Christian shit either. Sorry.
Neither. And I just find it funny because, like I said, it's a theme because I've ran into multiple men like that since him. And it's just like the fact that that's like when they are the most religious. Like, that's the only thing that they're like, I am a Christian.
Girl,
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you the other one. It's that and a conversation that men don't even know how to have, and that's that submission conversation. They don't
Oh,
know what they be talking about half the time, but they will. A woman's supposed to submit to her. Boy, suck my
that's
dick.
good for I'm the head of the house. Like, boy, you ain't motherfucking money. You trying to be the head of a household. You not doing shit. But that's true. And I'm glad that you brought up even like them being close to mass presenting like women who are lesbians or who identify as lesbian. I don't like know the
I'm not gonna get into gender, sexuality,
yeah,
like
because
on
I
that, but like I'll just say anybody in that community that's masculine presenting,
yes,
um,
the way
they
to put it.
have no problem with
Yeah,
practicing, like building friendships, right? Like, but then on the
but
other side of the spectrum, when it comes to gay men, it's just like, eh, like what's the disconnect?
I feel like that's a good point, but it's also an extent to that as well, as far as like their friendship. So it's like it's weird, but needless to say, that was a bad experience for me because I'm like, I have friends and family who are gay, and I don't fuck with that. And for you to like openly, like I said, I'll give you some sort of grace, very small, but it's in a way of me understanding that I too had some rigid beliefs before I went to college, before I did my own research, before I just became the woman I am today. So there's a certain level, but then I don't put up with bullshit. So that's the thing. Not at all. That's the thing. My best experience. Who? Ooh, okay. So I would say this in a sense of I've had some really great dates from being on the app. And y'all know me. I'm a very like I love dates. I love men who plan dates. I love
They
men
gonna hear it in that episode we got tucked away. They gonna hear all about it.
absolutely. I love men who just show the initiative to like take me out and pull out that card and swipe it. Um
Let's go swap.
Especially when you're pursuing me, right? So I've had great dates, and not just the plan, because it was one date that I can think of that was a really good date. We were out all day. We started off like with lunch, and then we went to like a tapas bar. So that's just drinks and stuff and such. A speakeasy, and then we went like we was going to strip club. Like it was just a whole. I love like a
Adventure. I loved it.
day, vibe. And it was just like that was so cool to me. Although I planned most of it, he paid for it. So I'm okay with that. And I like men who just like, is down with it and we learned so much from each other or about each other rather, because we just spent a lot of time. And I feel like honestly, as when you're dating, another important thing about like going out on dates is just seeing how the person you're dating interact with other people that are not with you or that they don't know. That's very big because I can think of another one. I'm glad I said it. I can think of another worst.
Love this. What's the other one?
Oh my god! So I met this guy, cool guy. So I thought. chilling, cool. We met like it was late, and I think we was just trying to like go somewhere quick. So we ended up at like a chain restaurant. I can't remember if it was like Chili's or Applebee's or whatever. And I don't know if he was like too drunk. It didn't seem like he was drunk, but he got like very aggressive with a guy who was at the bar. And I will say like the dude was being annoying. He was drunk. And he like made like one little comment, or he kept talking. He was like, "Hey, how y'all doing? Oh, y'all just being quiet," or whatever. But it wasn't bad, but it
And
was
set
annoying.
him off.
It was annoying. And the guy was weird. He was like, "All right, man, stop fucking talking to me." Like he like he got like, super. I was like, and I don't even know this man like that. So I'm like, calm down. It's okay. Like we can leave. You want to just leave? Like we don't need to be in no drama. Cause I get it, like him being annoyed, but he was literally like, man, shut the fuck up talking to me. All right, I get it. Like yeah, we don't want to talk. And I was like, about to fight this man. And I was like, you know what? I did not talk to him after that. It was just like I can't talk to someone who don't really know how to handle their emotions. And I get it, he was annoying, but we could have easily like went to a table. There were other ways that he could have handled it. So I said that to say I like going on dates to see how other people interact, because you never know what will happen while you're out. It could be certain, the waitress could be giving you shit, or I've dated men who low key be flirting, been on dates, been flirting low key with like the waitress, and they don't see it as flirting. But I'm like, nigga, that's flirting. You flirting. Okay. But yeah, that was a good day. I had a good time. And then an honorable mention is the reason why I asked the whole like social media thing is because I met one of my closest friends by sliding his DM
And this is what I was referencing earlier.
earlier, and now we've been friends for a long time. So like in that case, which I know y'all heard that before. I'm pretty sure we talked about this before, but it undershoot just shot episode. In that case, that worked out. It was cool. We're friends. But never had any like long term romantic. Oh, actually I did. But anyway, we ain't gonna talk about all that. Um, yeah, so those are my experiences. I'm gonna popcorn it over to you.
So y'all, mine are gonna be I'm really short because I don't really got a lot to say. My worst experience. It's not as bad as Crystal's worst at all. I think mine is more humorous than anything. But this guy was trying to like hint at me buying him some weed, and we had just met.
Excuse me? That is work. No, just wait.
No, it's like it was just this funny and like y'all. I'm high right now. I just be in my house high and laughing. So I'm pretty sure I was high at the time, and he had texted me. He was like, "Hey, how are you? I'm good. I'm chilling. How are you?" This nigga sends me like three-page message telling about how he having the worst day of his life, pretty much. He dropped his like he was like, and he ended the message by saying, and on top of that, I lost my debit card and I dropped my last eighth, like, or my last things. I'm just the best thing again. I will include my past relationship in the best thing, but I did meet some people on apps that I feel like were very influential in me being me. So I met
Mhm.
a lot of cool people that I might not necessarily talk to now, but at the time they were my friends.
Yeah. And I honestly, I will say more often than not, I've had a few people that I have like still to this day relationships with because of that.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
it's not, of course, I'm not dating them, but it's very cool to be able to like form friendships with men via the app, and maybe that's what is there for at this point, because that's been the best luck that I've had. But
Same with social media, and like I said, I include the social media in those numbers. Like I really made a lot of lifelong friends, like on social media.
absolutely. So I don't want to end this episode without talking about Valentine's Day. Like we're dropping this Tuesday.
Okay. Crystal, tell us all about your Valentine's Day plans.
Yes. Okay, y'all. So I'm doing a Galentines. Well, I can't say that because my brother will be there too. So it's a
Pal,
Valentine.
the pals.
It's the pals. And we are going to Houston. So we're making a Houston hottie weekend. And the pretty cool thing about it this year is I don't think it does this every year, but this year the Super Bowl falls on does it happen every year? I feel like no, yeah, because it's usually the weekend my dad dies, which was last week. So it's usually that weekend, but this year the Super Bowl is on the same weekend as Valentine's Day, so I think it's going to be a really good experience because a lot of people are going to be in town, and it's just going to be a lot of shit going on. So I'm planning on just like having a cute weekend, going out to, dinner with my brother and my friend C. Shout out to her. I know she listens. So, hopefully I'll have some like by the next time we record, I'll have some updates about how that went. But I just really plan on having, doing something cute. Just getting out of town for a little bit and letting my hair down because I haven't been out of town since last year. So it's time.
Do you mean last year when you went on a tour of the country for about 3? Is that what we're referencing?
I am referencing that, and if y'all know me, y'all know I love to travel, so it's very hard for me not to be able to do stuff. So,
Yeah, y'all.
um,
Crystal didn't see Texas at all for the last 3 months of 2021.
much
She
it
went on
felt,
a wide tour. I loved it.
it
I got
felt,
an extended amount of time with my best friend, so of course I loved it.
yeah,
As far as me and my Valentine's Day plans, I don't have any. Shadoris, if you're listening to this now, I have already texted you to see if we were still on for doing something. Um, so yeah, I made some plans a while back, and after if don't nobody say nothing about it as it's getting closer to the time, y'all know how we do. We ain't gonna end up doing nothing. So yeah, Shadoris wanted to do something together, me, her, Daisha, and Mahalia. So if anything, I'll be doing that for Galentines and celebrating with them. If not, I just plan on pampering myself because I love me.
absolutely. And honestly, y'all, I love Valentine's Day, and for the last like 5 or 6 years, I have been single or haven't even talked to anyone with potential on Valentine's Day. So it's kind of crazy that I enjoy it so much because I feel like most people think single people are bitter on Valentine's Day, and I'm the opposite. I'm like, I love me. I do. Like you need to, like you said, Elle, if it doesn't work out, your plans, fall through. Definitely, ladies and gents who are listening, and if you're single or you have a group of friends that are single, take the time to have a good time. Like go out, enjoy yourself, get indulge in foods that you love or like just make this one of those like cheat weekends. Because if you're like, trying to be on your health shit like me, even though it hasn't been working.
Like a bitch done lost some weight.
Yes. I would definitely still do the things that you want a man or a woman to do for you, even if you're not in a relationship. So I'm definitely gonna get chocolate covered strawberries. I don't know who the fuck you think I am if I'm not.
Listen, and if you know me, you know that it's one candy. I'm not a real big chocolate eater. But bitch, I eat turtles all year round.
And
But they put some extra crack in turtles during Valentine's Day.
I'm so excited. Like I love doing the things that, even for myself, if I did some planning, if it wasn't so like, I wasn't so tired for my birthday, I probably would have did a photo shoot that's like, well, I actually kind of did do a
I was
Valentine's
gonna say
Day.
you have a Valentine's Day theme photo shoot.
But I have some shit for Valentine's Day, like a photo shoot. Like I just like, spending time with myself. I like spoiling myself. So definitely do that. And if you're in a relationship, have a good time. Like make sure you're planning
Turn
shit for your date.
up, y'all. I love
Yeah,
what I want y'all to do is if you're gonna make a post on Insta, tag me in it. I want to see you. I want to see the couples. If you're doing a
yeah,
solo thing, I want to see that shit too. I just love seeing y'all happy.
I do. I
And
love it.
I know, like Chris was saying, a lot of people are like, You already see the jokes on whatever social media platforms you're using. You're already seeing the jokes like the
Mhm.
14th is just another day to me. Like I get that, but it's okay to celebrate yourself on Valentine's Day. So I want you to celebrate yourselves and the people that do bring you joy and love in your lives.
Yes. And even if you decide not to like participate, because they do, let's be real, just like any other like holiday that's made the fuck up. Um, it's a marketing thing, and people, they're gonna hike the prices on different things. So it's okay if you choose not to go out and celebrate, but you can stay in and celebrate in your own way. Make a, have a bubble bath, get some wine or whatever. So you don't have to participate in it actually going out and, you know, paying hundreds of dollars, because it's going to be crazy. Like they're going to tax because of the holiday. But I just want to say, have a good time.
I
Um,
will.
ready
Oh,
to
I'm so sorry. You finish your thought.
This is my last thing I gotta say. I'm ready to see those download relationships that are going to be broadcasted. I am going to be here for it because I know it's a lot of people out there going like, I got a girlfriend, I got a boyfriend, and it's always like so fun to me. It was like, especially when I know both of them and I didn't know they were together. It's kind of cool to see. I don't know.
I
But anyway,
always say that Valentine's Day is kind of like a gender reveal for boyfriends and girlfriends.
literally,
The last thing that I think that we should hit on, and then we're gonna close out and talk to y'all next week, is this: if you are engaging in sexual relations with your significant other on this Valentine's Day, I beg of you, use protection, because I don't want no more fucking Scorpios out here walking this.
I did not know where you were going. 'Cause I was saying, if y'all are together and y'all exclusive and y'all have an understanding, but
Listen, do we need any more Scorpios?
my brother is a Scorpio.
And he's one of the only ones I love.
I don't know many Scorpios other than him, and
I say that,
he's a
and
black.
you know I love you, girl.
Who?
Kenya.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I will say be careful though, for real. To all jokes aside, especially if you cheating, because I know some cheaters out there. Yeah.
Lord. I don't know, y'all. I just don't know how she knows these people. I don't know how she knows these people. God.
I know. I'm saying if you're cheating, y'all make sure y'all are being
Your
protected.
friends must not be black, because I heard black men don't cheat.
Wrong, okay? Because these niggas be niggering. Okay, no, black men don't cheat. Men don't cheat. That's the main word. A man, okay, and it's not a lot of men out here.
Okay, get into it then,
It's a
Sister
lot of
Chris.
women.
Get into it then.
Y'all. Yeah, I'm not. I promise. I'm just having a good time. But not for real though. If y'all be safe, like don't
You
be
said
out there
you said you're not what?
bitter.
Oh, okay.
Cause you know how people be thinking
I
like,
didn't hear you. Y'all, it's all jokes. Y'all already know it's all jokes on our end.
I'm just saying, like, but y'all do like, please be safe. And the reason why I brought up the cheating thing is because I'm like, if you know that fucking Pam, Sam, Tam,
And
and
Gene.
please don't bring that to your main or your supposed only, okay? And same way with the women, Dick, Tom, Harry, Gerald, goddamn. Don't be doing that. Y'all be safe out here. Cause don't be playing with people. Okay. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Most of this was just jokes, y'all. Okay.
We hope y'all have enjoyed this episode as much as we've enjoyed recording it.
It's been
See y'all back next week, same time, same place, different topic.
mm-hmm.
Still the
As
same real ass bitches.
if y'all have any suggestions, definitely let us know. If you want to be a guest on the show, which I know a few people have reached out.
Girl, I've had so many inquiries lately.
I know, and I really have to get it together, y'all. I promise we're not like trying to be funny, but it is difficult considering that we're not in the same area as it is. So incorporating a third party it's we have to find a better system. So I'm gonna let y'all know that now. Like we not